Oh, I've just come home from a evening of socializing. Basically, you just saw a few little tiny clips of me going to a secondhand bookshop, and that is because it's coming towards the end of the year, and something my department does at school is give us a small budget, $25, and we each get to pick books from an op shop. So that's what I'm going to show you. I also we just came back from dinner, like right now we just came back from dinner, because one of our, I'll call him a cousin, graduated. But anyway, let me show you the books. So I'll show you the books I got for myself first. And Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I picked this one up because I just really enjoy Patrick Ness books, and it's really short, well, decently short. It just sounds really interesting, and Patrick Ness so far has not let me down. So basically this is a young adult, like a psychological thriller from the sounds of things. So basically our main character is Connor. He has had the same dream every night ever since his mum got sick. And ever since she started treatments that don't seem to work. However, this night is different. Tonight, when Connor wakes, there's a visitor at his window. It's ancient, elemental, and a force of nature. And it wants the most dangerous thing of all, the truth. So the reason why I say psychological is because there's obviously lots of stuff going on with his, in his life with his mum. But also, from other books I've read from Patrick Ness, there's often some sort of deep dive into the psyche of characters, whether or not the ancient elemental force of nature is a metaphor or an actual creature, we will find out. I also picked up this little bookmark. This says Palmerston North International Airport, because they had free bookmarks, and I thought this would be really nice to pick up. I'll laminate it when I go to school. To last, you know, like take with me as a little reminder of Palmerston North. Now the other book I got here is an old library book, and this is called Teeth in the Mist. Now I'm not gonna lie, the cover is kind of meh. I'm not very enticed by it, but what did entice me is when it was on the shelf, can you see all the like dark pages? It reminded me of Illuminate. I'm like, ooh, are there pictures in it? So I picked it up and simply just flicked through, and there's like little aesthetic things like this. There's let me get to a whole black page like that. So there's like actual letters in here, which always intrigues me. I saw pictures in here at one time too. Letters, poems, diary entries, just interesting layout of words. So I picked this one up for that reason. And the blurb is really quite small. It says, "There can be no denying it now. As she had been so desperate to do before, this mountain really is cursed, but not by a witch, by something far more dangerous." And there is more of a blurb here, but to be honest, I kind of want to leave it mysterious because I don't want to be expecting or waiting for anything in case the like fuller blurb gives things away. Now the next two books I got are actually for my brother. I'm trying to get everyone in my family books this year. Mum is done. My brother, I've got a few in mind for my brother, but I saw these and had to pick them up. First of all, Black Hawk Down, very famous movie as well. And I remember my brother watching the movie like on repeat when he was younger. He's an absolute fanatic for this stuff. I mean, he's in the military now. Fanatic is too strong of a word, but like he's really interested in it. Personally, I always found it really hard to watch because of how intense it was. But I found the book and I thought, hey, that way. Book treasure. Book treasure. This just fell out. This is a boarding pass for one Mr. McMillan from Sydney to Darwin on the 14th of March. It does not give me a year, however. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to take that in and get that laminated as well. But yeah, I got Black Hawk Down for him. Then the other one I got was this one. It's in the same realm, as you can tell, Empire of Secrets. This is British Intelligence, the Cold War and the Twilight of the Empire. Yeah, of the Empire. And it's in such good condition. It's hardcover. I got it for $5. The only like glitch is this one chopped page, but that's it. There are a couple of images, photo pages in the middle, and this is basically a non-fiction telling of the Cold War. So, against the background of Cold War and the looming spectre of Soviet-sponsored subversion in Britain's dwindling colonial positions, the Imperial Intelligence Service, MI5, played a crucial but unseen role in passing power to newly independent national states across the globe. I just thought that would be really interesting for my little brother. For the rest of the evening, though, I'm going to read a book. Let me find it and introduce it to you. In my last vlog, I finished Outlander, and I just wanted to kind of carry on with the success of reading big fantasy novels. And so I picked up the second novel in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, which is this one, Royal Assassin. A little preface about this whole series. Our main character is a bastard, not swearing like he's a bastard in the marital sense, called Fitz, and he is the bastard of who was meant to be the king in waiting. His father, his biological father, was a king in waiting, disgraced the king in waiting, left with his wife and living their own life, and Fitz basically is trained to become a weapon for the king, so his grandfather, and he's trying to become an assassin, but it's got really cool magical elements. So Fitz has a power called the Wit, where he is able to communicate with animals. However, much like the witch trial kind of idea, this is seen as really bad, and so he's got to keep that secret. He is trained as an assassin, and he has to keep that secret. He works in the stables, and that's what people think he actually does. And the whole story just goes from there. It's like an epic fantasy. There's a huge map about Fitz's life. I'm not too sure what every single little trilogy goes into, but it is a huge series. And I have been reading this for a couple of days now, and I am well into it, about halfway, I would say. Page 344 of, let's find out, actually 675-ish. So kind of like literally halfway. Really loving it. I am going to continue reading this. Okay, good evening everyone. I have continued to make some really good progress in this novel. I am now up to page 430. So I am really enjoying it, and I won't be surprised if I'm able to finish it in the next couple of days. Hopefully I finish it by the time this vlog is finished. But in the meantime, whilst my laptop still has some juice left to it, I thought it'd be really fun to do the Goodreads Choice Awards 2022. It's the opening round, and I will do photos and insert them in. Now, I wanted to just record this. Who knows, I might go through and read some of these in the future. Let's just do it together. So basically, these are the Goodreads Book Awards, the 14th Annual Goodreads Book Choice Awards, where the awards are decided by reader. Now, the thing about books being decided by reader means that it's basically a popularity vote, which isn't the worst thing. Now, for best fiction, I might even put some videos up here, to be honest. For best fiction, I'm seeing a Hanya Yanagihara novel, which I've heard of, but I've just not read like any recent released books. I don't think I've read many at all, and I'm looking through these and I do not recognize any of them. So I'm just going to go straight into the mystery and thrillers. Now, I see here a Richard Osman one. I have the first book of that series on my list, on my shelf, actually, just in the other room. So it's getting me thinking I should read that. Is anybody else seeing how similar a lot of these thriller book covers look like? Like, I'm just looking at The Family Game, The Paris Apartment, Wrong Place, Wrong Time, All Good People Here, and Alice Feeney. They all have like the same font and kind of vibe, with having some sort of picture in the background. That's so boring. I'm sorry. I've gone a bit of a ramble though. I have not read any of those. Let's move on to historical fiction. I mean, I've read only like 50. I say only. I've read 50 books this year so far, but like none of them have been new releases, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've just had books on my backlist that I've been wanting to read. By the way, sorry if I'm not like looking at you guys. I've got the, like I said, the website up in front of me right now. Okay, so from this, there's two that I recognize. There's the new Taylor Jenkins Reid book, Carrie Soto is Back, which, I mean, I've not read any of these either. However, I would be interested in reading that. But also a Diana Gabaldon one, which when I hover over it is the latest Outlander book, which I did not realize like that series was still being written at all. So I learned something. Okay, the next one is fantasy. Surely I've read a new fantasy. Yeah, I can see Sarah J. Maas, House of Sky and Breath. Daughter of the Moon Goddess is on my like radar, but I've just not been that interested in recent books. I think I've just been feeling really overwhelmed by the books I already like want to read on my TBRs. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So I've read 2 of the books from this section. So I have read the Sarah J. Maas one, but I've also read the Book Eaters. And I think I'm actually going to vote for the Book Eaters because Sarah J. Maas is already really, really known. However, Sunya Dean, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying it's her debut novel. So I'd love for that novel to get more recognition. So the first vote is going to the Book Eaters. Next up is Best Romance. Colleen Hoover in there. A lot of books, a lot of covers here that I recognise. Hook, Line and Sinker I had on my shelf for a second, but then I realised it was a, actually I didn't realise, somebody informed me that it was a sequel and I hadn't read book 1. But no, I have not read any of these. Maybe I could do a themed reading vlog where I read like the top 3 romance books from 2022, and that could be a nice way to read some 2022 novels actually. What genre should I do? Let me know what genre. Best sci-fi is up next. So looking at the sci-fi ones, aside from some really, really cool book covers, I have not read any of them. So let's move on to horror. I think this is honestly just going to be a similar situation, but I'm just going to go through them anyway, just so I can see what might have already been on my radar and what I can potentially expect if I do. If I do read some of these novels. I'm like looking at these and I feel like this is just proof at how separated from what's been going on in the book world this year, and that I recognize not a single author nor a single book title. I'm not even joking in the horror round. Okay, just nothing there. Okay. There is then humour and non-fiction and stuff like that. I'm not very interested, but I will jump to graphic novels and comics. Leigh Bardugo has, I should say, a graphic novel / comic. I did not know that. I read Lore Olympus and I did not like it. Lore Olympus Volume 1, and I did not like it. The Heartstopper book number 4, I have read that. You know what? I'm going to give Heartstopper a vote because I have read that series and I really liked it, and I have read number 4. So there we go. I managed to vote for something else. Now, best debut is where they kind of double up on a lot of things that we already see in previous rounds. However, in this round, there's nothing here that I have read. So I'm not going to vote for anything for debut novel. The last round that I'm interested in, YA fantasy and sci-fi. I see Kingdom of the Feared. I've read the first one in that series and I found it very dissatisfying. I see some V.E. Schwab. I really need to read more of her books. I've only read 1 book from her. A Magic Steeped in Poison is a book with a beautiful cover and I have had it on my watch list. Now, this Woven Kingdom is the only one here from this list that I've actually read. I'm pretty sure I can say that accurately. I did end up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. But now that I'm thinking about it, that book was really unmemorable to me. And I don't want to vote for a book just because it's the only one I've read if I didn't think it was like worthy of a award too. So although I've read This Woven Kingdom, I don't actually think it's worthy of a vote. So I'm going to leave it. I feel like this has been, hopefully I've managed to edit it down quite a lot to like a ramble of look at all these books I haven't read, but it was fun. I thought I'd take you along with me. Now I need to sleep, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hello everyone. So it's a Tuesday, and in half an hour I am hopping on a Zoom to talk to somebody in Australia about relief teaching. So basically what's happening at the moment is I cannot get my qualification of teaching recognised in Australia until I am there and have some Australian forms of identity. And I've also been very seriously thinking about relief teaching for a while, just whilst I get over there to get my foot in the door, and it might be a nice way to ease into moving overseas, because as a relief teacher you don't have to, you know, plan or mark or do any of that stuff if you're just like a class by class relief teacher. So I found this agency in Australia who is like a middleman for it. So rather than me having to go around and put my CV in and be like, do you need relief? Do you need relief? Do you need relief? They would be able to, like, they know the schools who need relief. So I'm hopping on a Zoom with them. I've got a few questions for them. So that's basically what it's going to be, a little catch-up, no stress thing, which is all right. My biggest query is if they take a fee, because the thing about relief teaching is you don't get holiday pay or sick days. So if I relief taught, I'd have to be very careful with my budgeting, because I'd need to make sure I have enough money for rent and food and all of that stuff when it's the school holidays. So yeah, that's basically, I'm just catching you up. I did continue to make some progress in Royal Assassin. I am now up to page 471. So I've got a decent amount left, but I'm really enjoying it. About 200 pages left. I just think that this series is really good at tugging me along, because I know that more stuff is going to happen. I know that there's going to be plot twists and stuff. So I'm very intrigued. And because it's, you know, it's a big series, so you get to learn how the characters think. You get to know them quite intimately. So you like the series. Oh, okay, we're done. And what was a blip to you was 35 minutes to me. Positive Zoom. I don't know why I always get such social anxiety before hopping on a Zoom. It's like my introverted soul just doesn't want to do it, but then my extroverted personality is fine. Yeah, very positive. Sounds like there's a lot of relief work to be done. I just need to jump through some hoops, as I already knew with my registration getting recognised. But I'm really excited at the idea of relief teaching, because then I'll be able to not have to think so hard when I come home. I'll be able to shut off a little bit, I hope, and actually like live life. The guy talking to me was really nice. He reminded me of my dad a little bit, actually, just in how he held himself, but super, super helpful. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling excited. I won't lie, this whole moving ordeal has got to me a little bit, to the point where I have actually taken the day off work tomorrow. I've got like 40 sick days, guys, and I don't get them paid out when I finish a job. It's just 40 days I could have not been working and get paid for it, like not being used. So I've actually taken the day off for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. You might be thinking I'm lazy. I woke up pretty dizzy this morning and I've been headachy all day. I feel a lot better now. I had a big lunch, so that probably helped a lot. But, you know, for my own mental health, I don't want to crash and burn. I've only got 1 week left of my students, and the last thing I want to do is like wake up proper ill on Monday morning and not be able to go see them all. So I'm taking tomorrow off, and I am going to use that to look after myself and have a bit of a rest and read and stuff. But also I want to make some more moves with my packing, and I can maybe take the personal day to go through the hoops I just mentioned. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just feeling very positive, very excited. I'm going to put up on the screen how many sleeps I have left until I am moving countries. I'm excited. Also nervous, but also excited. If you're an Australian teacher, I don't know, give me your advice. I know that there are a lot of teachers who watch BookTube and who are on BookTube. I guess it's just, you know, a common thing. Especially English teachers, we like to read. So, I mean, all teachers like to read. I'm not just narrowing us out as the only book nerds, or kicking you out of the club if you are like a science teacher and like to read too. But yeah, give me some pearls of advice. And just like Aussie people, if you're from Aussie, what should I know before coming to Australia? Melbourne specifically, so Victoria. What should I know? Is there anything I should be given a heads up? I am an Australian citizen though, so all of that stuff I'm all good with. Oh, okay. What do I want to do? I'm like too excited. I might go through and see what I need to do to jump through these hoops, and then reassess my priorities for the day. Maybe even edit this vlog, because surely this is getting to a good length now. Is that hail? It was indeed hail, and I hear thunder. Titus drove back, so he's alright. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, where's the camera? My phone's like upside down. Hello guys. Yes, it's nighttime again. And yeah, I'm sorry I didn't vlog anything today. You know how I took the day off and I was like, feeling not great. It's really good that I did take some time off today because I slept for 16 hours. Last night I fell asleep at like 7 o'clock watching footy, and then that was for like a couple of hours. I woke up, had a shower, went to bed. This was at like 9 p.m. and then I didn't wake up till 11 p.m. So I've had so much sleep. When I woke up this morning, basically Titus's car got sideswiped. I will insert a photo here. He was not in the car when it happened. He's totally safe and okay. It's just one of those things where we had to go to the police, file a report, sort out insurance. And then whilst we were out there, I went and got a bunch of books from the library. I got out 27 books, short stories, graphic novels, poetry collections. And the very next video after this one, which will come out, will be my December TBR, sharing all of those books with you. But I also just need to give you a bookish update in that the rest of the day, once we got home, I did just chill out reading with Titus, snuggled under a blanket whilst he continued to watch his football. But I finished this and I'm going to give it another 5 stars. I say another, the first book in the series I gave 5 stars. This is Royal Assassin by Unhaul, just to remind you. And I think what this book did really well is it built on what it set out to build on from book 1. So it's an epic fantasy novel. There's still some travel, there's still fighting, there's still disrupt and disputes, but we see the character growth quite a bit. Not necessarily they become like Fitz, our main character, becomes like a bigger man or a better man, just more like the plot really progresses from the beginning to end of this book. The world, the Farseer castle and everything is insanely different, which is exciting. I do feel like it's been a lot of setup for something big that's going to happen in the next installment, the final one of the trilogy. Not saying that nothing happened in this one. This very much had its own like subplot. I remember hearing a YouTuber once talk about the best trilogy, the best book series are when you have an overarching plot happening. So book 1 to say book 3, there's something big happening, but each individual book has its own something happening, and definitely is the case in this book. The individual something that's happening is very much fits as like the kingdom dilemma in terms of what king is taking over, the internal drama, so to speak. But yeah, I really do like this series, and I will definitely read the third book. I'm almost tempted to get into it right now, but first I need to keep reading I'll start reading some of my short books, which is where this comes in. Oh, my phone went dark again. This is Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. It's adapted by Robert Venditti and the artist by Alina Ursov. You will have seen me talk about this. Well, you're going to see me talk about this a little bit more in the upcoming TBR video, so apologies for the repetition, but this is basically like a paranormal vampire story. I'm saying vampire because when our main character turns 16, she gets blue icy veins, and she has moments where she can't remember things, and oh, there's dead bodies that pop up. So cliched, but I really feel like this is what I want to read after doing such a big epic fantasy. I want to read something kind of like cheesy, with some romance and stuff as well. So I am going to read this tonight. Okay, quick update. I have read the first chapter, and we have already had the pretty girl who dies. We have already had the kiss that comes out of nowhere and physically made me be like, what? And we have already had the bad boy trope. I like this. This is just what I wanted right now. Is it any good? I don't know. It's entertaining. So it depends what you call good. Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. I have been up, but I'm just going back in bed because I'm going to sit here this morning and finish reading this book, wake up, you know, have a chill morning and get this one finished. And then we're going to do some moving stuff. So just letting you know, I'll probably be in the next clip giving you an update or some sort of laughing at something super cheesy. Like this massive gap in my fringe. What the heck? Okay, so I finished Blue Bloods. Let's talk about it whilst I get dressed. So basically, I'm going to give it a star for its awesome art style. I really enjoyed its artistry. The artist, Alina Ursov, did a really good job. If you're familiar with the video game Borderlands, it kind of reminds me of that art style as well. It's just really graphic novel-y, quite good at colours, and then when we go to like a different time period or a different place, it's really obvious to tell that we're in a different place. Like there was no confusion for me about what was happening, and I thank the artist for that, because that is often something that gets me confused when the colour palette between scenes is too similar. My brain like can't figure out that we're in a different place unless it explicitly says so. Oh, voice, why did you go? However, I am going to take a star off because the writing, I'm sorry who was the author, Melissa De La Cruz. The writing was so cheesy. I cannot even, I mean, I can't explain. I showed you a little bit last night. And it just continues like that. Like these girls who aren't friends suddenly become friends literally within a difference of one panel. It just is a little bit ridiculous. Let's wear this t-shirt. When in doubt, a black graphic tee. In saying that though, I did enjoy De La Cruz's exploration of vampires. So you have the Blue Bloods and the Silver Bloods, and the Blue Bloods are like wanting to get back into heaven. They were like fallen angels, so to speak, and like they drink human blood but they don't kill them, and there's all this stuff. But then you have the Silver Bloods who are like vampires turned bad, who drink and kill the Blue Bloods vampires. So the intricacies and like the vampire, like the type of vampires, how the vampirism works, was really interesting. I hadn't discovered something like that before, so I'm going to give it a star for that. However, I am also going to take a star off in terms of the plot progression. I've talked about it being cheesy, but the actual plot I felt was real janky. In order to keep things flowing, which it did pretty well, it sacrificed any sort of subtlety and nuance, and so it was like this happened, then this happened, then this happened, which to be honest is something I often critique in graphic novels. I think it's just part of the genre, and maybe it's just something that doesn't quite mesh perfectly with how I like to read a book. So I'm kind of debating whether to give it 2 or 3 stars. I think in reality, if I read a 3-star book, if I rated a book 3 stars, I would still recommend it to people, but I don't think I would go around telling everyone or anyone that they should read this unless they specifically said, I want a paranormal graphic novel, in which case this is like one of the only ones I've read. So I think I'm going to stick with 2 stars for this one. But now that I'm ready for the day, I am going to put you guys in time-lapse mode because we're going to do some more like moving stuff. Basically just figuring out what we can start to sell because we're only in this house for 2 more weeks, which is insane. Very exciting, but also like insane. Hey babe, I hear you brushing your teeth. You just booped my butt. Okay, let's do this. Oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay, stop. Had enough. Oh, let's make the bed. What? Just did an unbox. Quick update. I ended up not time-lapsing anything else because I very quickly realised I needed my phone to like take photos of things and list them on Facebook Marketplace. But let me flip you around. I don't know how much of my room you knew beforehand, but I did have this big 8 cube here which had my pants that I have removed, and now all my pants and stuff are up here. We also got rid of the bedside tables, excuse the laundry that needs to be put away. So our bedroom has been cleared out quite a bit. Then if we go into this room, this is what we're looking at. So that's the 8 cube that's sold and is being picked up tomorrow. Same with the like clothes rack. These things are all like on hold or being sold. This is my next big thing to sort out and I don't quite know what to do. These are the books I want to keep / read and then maybe sell. This is a stack of books that didn't sell. That's a stack of books I don't know what to do with yet. And then I'm going to sell this bookshelf too. We have made good progress. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Oh, wait, I've just realised I've got bread in my hair. I did also have a little nap and it looks like Titus has popped bread in my hair. That's cute. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I should do from here. I could sort this out. In fact, I should sort that out. But I just have nowhere to take the books I don't want yet. So, I don't know. I feel like that might be a later in the week kind of job. Oh, I just got a message that someone's on their way to buy the bedside table. So, I'll go get that ready. Sitting here waiting for the, I've actually just put it outside, the what do you call it, bedside table person to be here. But someone's also just messaged me saying they want to buy the fan. So I'm going to grab that as, oh, I keep standing on the box. Does anyone else have a box of cords in their house? Just like a box of cords that you don't know where they go to, but you also know you probably shouldn't get rid of them because you will need them. We've got one of those and it's currently sitting right in the middle of our hall because we were looking for a cord. See, look. That's what I keep standing on. But anyway, some person has bought this fan. The hardest part of selling things on Facebook Marketplace, to be honest, is like the waiting of people. Like you're sitting here and it's just like, oh, okay, we said like 2:30, which is the time now. Where are you? I don't know, maybe it's just my value of time. I hate being late. If anything, I'm ever so slightly early. So yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here like, where are you? It'll be okay. I'm just sitting on TikTok. Okay, they came. Both the fan and the... I'm going to step over that box. I could put it away, but that makes too much sense. Yeah, but it was a bit awkward with the bedside table. We only sold one because the second one is like broken, so we weren't about to sell that. Sorry, someone just messaged me again. And I was like, she came to buy it and she's like, only one? And I'm like, you know, I'm polite, but I'm like, yeah, I said bedside table. There was only one picture. Honest, I can understand though. You do normally send them in pairs. So it was just a little bit like, yeah, that's what the listing said. But anyway, it's okay. I've decided I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through my wardrobe and do another unhaul, another clear out. I keep doing this. It's just me taking the time to go through all of this and get rid of more stuff, because this is now all my clothes and shoes in one wardrobe. And it's a lot to take over with me. And there's definitely stuff in here I don't wear, so let me go through it and we can do a little closet unhaul. Alright, ignore the towel that's here to dry. We have a denim waistcoat, which I really thought I was going to get more wear out of, but I've realised that it's just not my thing. I have some waistcoats that I love. I've got like a black one and then like a grey pinstriped one, which I will definitely reach for more than a blue denim one. I purchased this top for $1. It's all of these, looking at them, are thrifted except one. But this one I thrifted and I love it. However, the fact that I've got to iron it is unrealistic for me. I'm not going to wear it, so that can go. This top, ooh, I absolutely adore and I'm so sad to get rid of it. However, it is so scratchy. I really cannot deal with it, so someone else can enjoy that. I have this one, which is a lightning mesh like cardigan, and when I wear it I do often like tie it in the middle, but it's quite hard for me to wear. I don't get a lot of wear out of it and I don't think it's worth carting all the way to Australia with me. This one is just one of those buys I regret. This is the only item here that isn't thrifted. It was one of those fast fashion purchases. It was trendy to have like cow print at one point and I've worn it a few times, but I'm probably not going to wear it again. This one I just find really hard to wear. I really like the look of, I'll find the pictures, this kind of style where they have a really knitted, loose crocheted kind of half top, and I was going to DIY it with this, but as you can see the gaps in it are pretty small, so it doesn't give me the effect I want. And then this one I actually kind of replaced. I say kind of because the one I replaced it with has like floral decals here. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there you go. And it fits better. This one, even though it's plain and it's like useful for layering in that sense, it's quite tight under the armpit. So I'm getting rid of that one and I replaced it with another thrifted one. Okay, next I'm going to do this side. I have another whole bunch of stuff. I'm being quite ruthless. I'm going to get rid of this white mini skirt as much as I love it. It's just too short for me, so I'm just being really honest with myself. I've got the same situation with this blue one. It's really pretty, however it's one of those skirts that when I walk it's going to ride up a lot and I don't feel uber comfortable. This is a shiny pencil skirt that a work colleague gave to me, and it's a really interesting situation that I'm in morally because I didn't ask for it. Her and I aren't terribly close. She's just a really lovely person who saw this in a mega clearance sale for like $1 and thought of me and bought it. But look, I'm just never gonna wear it, so I think I'm just gonna pass it on. I also have this beautiful two-piece which I'm gonna keep. This is a dress I thrifted and it is cute and I love it, but again it's too short on me. I don't know what I was thinking. And this one, I call this my toothpaste dress. I like it, however, it's a bit impractical for me because I'm not really meant to have my shoulders out for work. But then it's not a dress with a spaghetti strap that would look cute if I put a t-shirt underneath it to layer it. So this one can go. And now I have two halter dresses. There is this one and this one, which are both really, really cute. However, the halter dress that I always reach for, well, not really halter dress, but like that style of dress, is this cute little cherry one. It just does something to me. I think it's the length. It just fits me really well, and I never reach for those other two. Okay, next up is pants, if there are any. Okay, and the only pair of pants I'm going to get rid of are these grey ones, and that is because I have another pair of grey pants which I reach for over these. So this is a pair that, like, the gap in my wardrobe for that is already filled. Okay, these are all of the clothes I got rid of. I think that's a pretty successful unhaul, to be honest. I'm quite proud. By the way, peek the books that are going to be coming at you in the next video. So to wrap up today's vlog, across these days we have managed to finish a couple of books, which, yay, I'm proud of myself. We have managed to tidy up the house a little bit, but also get a lot of the bedroom stuff sorted out and sold. The bed, by the way, I don't know why you'd be wondering this, but the people moving in are new flatters. I actually know them. They used to be students at school. They're a couple years out of high school now, which kind of makes me feel old. But they have bought the bed off of us because they need a bed, so the bed will stay here. So that's going to stay, but most of the stuff in the bedroom is done. I need to sell my mirror, but I don't want to do that till a little bit later because I obviously use it when I get dressed. I've gone to the library. Titus's car has been sideswiped, but I actually feel really positive and excited about the move. Getting a start on it now has meant that I do not feel as overwhelmed. Well, I know I'm not going to feel as overwhelmed in the last week. I had a really good Zoom about what my future career pathway would look like, and I do think I'm going to go down the path of relief teaching for sure. It just seems like, honestly, really good pay for not too much stress, especially when I'm just moving to a country fresh. So that's exciting, but stay tuned for the next video because that will be me sharing all of the books that I've got out with you. I really want to read one, so I might maybe I'll do like 2 vlogs in a row, 2 videos in a row, so I can get reading them straight away. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Enjoy all the books that you read on your own reading adventures, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.